What's up, people? I've had Walking Dead on my brain for quite some time now, so I figured I'd come talk to you guys about it. A couple months ago, I got really excited. I heard that Frank Darabont, you might remember him from a little movie called The Shawshank Redemption, heard he was getting together with AMC. You might know them from, little Mad Men, Breaking Bad. And I heard they were getting together to do a zombie program, so I was thinking, how could this go bad? Two quick things. I didn't read the comic book. This has nothing to do with it. This is just a review of the show. And spoilers! So I really liked the first episode. I thought it was one of the strongest in the series. I really liked the small, minimal amounts of characters we have. We get to know them, and they all have quality developments. I really liked the opening scene. I thought it was a great way to start the show. It seemed like it was AMC's little way of saying, we're not fucking around here. Zombies are not. Here at AMC, we shoot little girls in the face. I really liked the music. It wasn't too over the top. It was nice and surreal. Kind of got me into the setting. I thought it was creepy and scary, but it didn't rely on any cheap tricks. There was no jump out scares or over the loud music cues. It was just general fucked upness that should give you a real genuine sense of concern for the characters. I like the scene where he finds his cop buddy who's now a zombie. I thought this was a little scene with a lot to say. I thought it really came together for the scene. I felt it to be very believable. It's an excellent use of CGI, and it really shows off some of the phenomenal makeup effects in the show as well. I really liked how simple it was. We only had about 3 major characters. We had our main character, we had the black guy, and we had his son. Sure, we had main character's wife and his partner, and they had their own little subplot going on, but I really felt this to be the weakest part of the story. Maybe I'm being ridiculous here, but it seems a little soon to be getting frisky in the woods. I guess in these certain near-death type situations, certain instincts might be kicking in. It just seems like there's a lot of better things that they could be doing. I mean, you already got kids, lady. Whatever, we'll let it slide. Is it just me, or is it really annoying that our main characters never seem to know what zombies are? What do you mean the dead are walking around eating people? I just don't understand how they're living in this universe where zombies are real, yet no one's made a movie about them. Biggest problem with this episode was most definitely the resolution of Black Guy. We got to spend a bunch of time with him. He really grew as a character along with his son. I felt really connected to him, and this is where we leave him off at. And then we never come back to him for the rest of the season. It just feels like a really big loose end. Granted, he may return in the future, but I really feel that he could have used some more screen time in this season. And is it just me, or did the wife outside the window kind of look like a crackhead? Is this $5 free crack giveaway? I don't know, maybe I'm just racist. Alright, episode 2. This one was a little more action-y. We had a little more going on. We got introduced to a bunch more characters. My favorite part of this episode was probably when they covered themselves in guts. It was just nice to see them do something new. Sure, it felt fairly reminiscent of Shaun of the Dead, but I don't think we've ever seen this done in such a serious manner before. Ugh, the freaking racist white guy on the roof. You are such a piece of crap. You are just not contributing at all here in this situation.
I tell you today, Mr. Yo, it's the day I take orders from a...
Can't we all just get along? I understand what they were trying to go for with this character, but he just was not enjoyable to watch. The Asian guy is probably my favorite out of all the new characters. I just found him to be the most realistic and believable. Maybe I'm just young, but I feel like I can relate to him. I hope at some point he gets some quality development and he's just not around for comic relief. I like the shot where he drops a CGI key. No reason in particular, it's just pretty neat looking. Shows pretty good cinematography. In this type of horror genre, I always seem to be finding myself asking the same questions. Can I relate to this person, and am I rooting for them? If they're acting unrealistic and making stupid mistakes, then why should I root for them? Why should I care? And it seems like this right here, where he leaves this axe, a perfectly good melee weapon, just leaves it behind. It's shit like this that kills it for me. It may seem like a nitpick, but I feel it's details like this that really sell the characters and the situation. Alright, episode 3. I thought this was by far the weakest of the season. First off, there's only about 1 zombie in it. It's basically a bunch of overdramatic nonsense about a bunch of characters that I don't really care about because they're not acting believable or realistic in this situation whatsoever. Just look at their living situation. They're in a Winnebago in the middle of the woods. Granted, later we are revealed that they are on the side of a cliff, so they're not exactly 360 degrees open, but still, how is this safe at all? I guess they made it clear that the downtown area is filled with a lot more zombies, but even so, wouldn't you be a lot safer in some type of office building where you have like very minimal amounts of stairways you'd have to block off? If you put yourselves in this type of situation, obviously you're gonna get attacked. I don't know if many of you guys have seen 28 Days Later, but the opening to that movie and the opening to this show are fairly similar. Both of our main characters wake up from being unconscious in a hospital in the zombie apocalypse. Granted, this is a pretty good premise, and they seem to have taken it in different directions. I guess we can let it slide. But what I cannot let slide is this. Okay, you hear that? Now listen to this. Do you hear that? Am I the only one that hears these similarities? I mean, it's close. It's pretty freaking close. Alright, episode 4. This is probably my second favorite episode. It had a really good balance between the action and the drama between all the characters that I don't really care about. So there was a lot of time spent on the racist guy up on the roof, but once again he falls in the same category as black guy because we spent all this time on him and then it doesn't really go anywhere. We're not even really sure what happens to him. I was actually reading in an interview online. So a guy cuts off his arm, steals the car, dies, turns into a zombie, kills a bunch of survivors, and then those survivors are the ones that kill our main campsite. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, why didn't you film it? Why didn't you show it to us? I like the bit with the old people home. Once again, it was nice to see something new. It got a little cheesy, you know, we're so badass, but there's nothing more gangster than helping old people. It's interesting though, because this will give you something to think about. I mean, this is the type of stuff that's going to happen in the apocalypse. It's gonna get messy. It's gonna get messy. So of course their main campsite gets attacked by zombies. Who didn't see that one coming? It's an alright little action sequence, you know. Some characters live, some characters die. Didn't really care. Alright, episode 5. By now it feels like we've wasted quite a bit of time and the story has not progressed as far as it should. And why is it that the redneck character is the only one making any sense?
I said we put a pickaxe in his head and the dead girls will be done with it.
The white trash redneck guy? How is he the only one? And oh my god, the freaking blonde lady. I guess backtrack to the end of the last episode. We have this blonde lady and her daughter. And the daughter leaves the campsite by herself, unattended, in the middle of the night, with no weapon. This goes back to that whole relating and rooting thing for characters. And I'm sorry, but young blonde girl, but you're a retard and you deserve to die. So anyways, this episode is focusing on blonde lady dealing with the death of her daughter. And it's just ridiculous. She's just caressing her dead corpse, just waiting for it to turn into a zombie. It's like she just wants to get infected. I mean, I thought they were gonna make out. I understand the loving point they're trying to get across, but I just don't buy this scene and it just goes on for way too long. Once again, we got characters doing stupid things that deserve to die, and I just hate watching you. I don't understand why I have to spend so much time on this. Why is it still going? Why? Why is this happening? Also, we got this guy who was digging holes, and now he's a zombie, and now I have to leave him. I just didn't really feel for this guy, and I felt I've seen this type of situation explored better in other zombie programs. Dawn of the Dead remake comes to mind. I mean, it's pretty messed up when the dad's slowly turning into a zombie and her daughter has to watch. But here we just have some random guy from the group that nobody cares about. I don't know if this character really works because I never really felt for him. At the end of the episode, they finally get to the CDC, but I felt this was a little overdue. I mean, they could have got here 30 minutes ago, if not episodes ago. It's just they finally get there and then the episode's over. It just felt kind of like a slap in the face. I did like the CDC guy. He was down in there talking to the camera, getting ready to kill himself. I liked him, I felt connected to him, and I thought this bit was pretty cool, man. What can I say? I thought it was pretty cool. Alright, episode 6, the season finale. Once again, if I had to sum this episode up, I hate to say it, but it's pretty much a waste of time. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, why did they even stop at the CDC? What even got accomplished there? Not much. It started to come together in the middle there where we had the CDC guy talking about the zombie brain, and I felt, hey, look, they're finally getting a little deeper with this. They're gonna, you know, expand upon the zombie ideas, maybe give the show its own little bit of mythology. But no, not really. They didn't really go anywhere with this. It was just kind of an overly simplified, this is your brain on zombie type of thing. Feels like they're just spoon feeding us information at this point. Here comes the information! I did enjoy the bit with the partner. I had not been enjoying the subplot with the main character's wife. They had been hinting at this character freaking out, and now we finally got to see it, and I really enjoy watching this character lose it. I think this is one of the better setups for tension in the next season. God only knows what kind of wacky drama this guy's gonna make for the rest of the gang. So I guess the biggest question is, what did the CDC guy whisper to our main character? It could have been, sorry for the pointless plot detour. Or it could have been, your partner's trying to rape your wife. I don't really know what he said. I don't really care. I guess we'll have to wait till next season to find out. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. Biggest problem with this episode, and I guess the entire first season of Walking Dead, is the climax. What was the point of these episodes? What was this all boiling up to? What was the main climactic tension of Walking Dead? It was this. And this. And a little more. Yep, it was a big stupid explosion. Just a big CGI crapfest explosion. Where was the setup for next season's tensions and story arcs? Where was the new, relevant information to make something interesting? It just wasn't there. All we got was a big, stupid explosion. About 27 freaking angles of explosion. I don't even want to know how much money was wasted on that and not spent on quality things like the writers. So overall, I liked Walking Dead, but I don't think it really lived up to its potential. For such a short season of only 6 mere episodes, I don't feel they got as much accomplished as they could have. There was just too many plots and characters that I didn't care about that we spent way too much time on. It didn't do a good job of setting things up for next season, it didn't really wrap up this season that well either. There was just too many things left unresolved, and big CGI explosions, well, I don't know if there's anything left to say about that. It had its ups, it had its downs. I don't know if it was exactly AMC quality, but I was fairly entertained and I'll be tuned in for next season. I really think the show would have worked better in a Lost format. I don't know how many of you kids watch Lost, but the main idea is there's an event, and each episode focuses on one character, and we cut in between them before and then after the event. We get to see their old life juxtaposed to their new life, and there's just lots of interesting ways in which this can play out. And I think it really would have worked well for a show like this, but I don't know, it might disagree with the comic book or something. Like I said, I never read it. I'm just throwing out ideas here, people. So Walking Dead, I heard you guys fired all the writers. Yeah. I can think of someone that needs a job. Also, you guys really need to check out this fan-made intro by Daniel M. Kanemoto. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's phenomenal, and they really should have used it instead of the one in the show. So, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.